Hello humans, Master Dinnerflex here, bringing you low quality content you deserve. And today I'll be going over both a quick combo and the deck profile of that weird fairy deck I built yesterday. There have been a few changes because I was finally able to analyze what exactly I was trying to do with the deck, and therefore I could build it more correctly, because originally when I made that video I just threw a bunch of random spam fairies in the deck, and they randomly had like a few combos, so I then tried to hone in the combos and figure out what exactly the deck is trying to do. And it turns out, as long as you can get 4 fairies on the board, you can do that combo, which sounds like a lot, but there are so many fairies that just summon themselves, and there's so many ways to just summon fairies, so it's not that bad. And even if you don't have a lot, you could still end with some stuff, and you got the discard heralds to keep you alive. So this combo is like one of the most powerful combos in the deck, if not the most powerful. It's Diviner Double Extender, and of course you need a discard outlet. So you'll start by summoning your 2 extenders. We will summon this, and now we will go into Diviner of the Heralds. It will send Trias. Trias will tribute its only the Diviner to summon itself. And then Diviner will trigger to summon the level 1 Valkyrie, which will summon the level 4 Valkyrie, which will search the level 9 Valkyrie. Now we will link into Condemn Dark Lord, discard a card, and we will search Dark Lord Asmodeus. Then we will link the other extender and the Condemned into Parshath. Now, one of the things about this combo is when you get to Parshath, you need to make sure that while you have Parshath on board, you need to either have a level 2 or lower Trickstar, a level 1 fairy, or a normal monster fairy, because those are the only ways to make a Link 1 out of a fairy. Luckily we have a level 1, so we can do this. Link Revo. Parshath will activate its effect. We'll banish a fairy to summon a higher level fairy from our hand, which will be Asmodeus. Asmodeus will activate to send any fairy from our deck, and we will send Eva. Eva will activate. We'll banish these 2, and then we will go ahead and search Mandrake and Wadapon. Wadapon will summon itself. We will link these into... oh, before that, we're going to discard this to search Master Hyperion, my bad. And that will summon itself. Then we'll link into Appaloosa, just for 2. We have ways to defend it, so it does get to use both its negates. Then we'll link these 2 off, 2 light fairies, into Union Carrier. Union Carrier will activate to equip Venus to Appaloosa. Now this is one of the weird things. There's the main ruling is if a monster is used as an equip to a monster, if it's equipped to a monster, it's treated as an equipped spell. So because of that, we can actually summon Sigrun by sending this Venus to the grave, and in doing so we can revive this. It's just a weird interaction that you can do. It's really funny too. But now we will overlay these 2 level 9s for calamities, and then we will banish the Venus we just sent to summon Master Hyperion, and we will overlay these into number 38. So you still have a card in hand. Now we do have a Link Kribo engraved, so we could tribute this to revive it, just as more battle protection for your Appaloosa. However, we're not going to do that, and here's a simple reason why. As a material, Trias is a material, so when you detach, you're going to detach the Trias, And now let's say they burn through like some monster negates. You declare the wrong attribute. Then when they try to push, you contribute these 2 fairies. Tries will summon itself, and then pop a card. And then you still have your Calamities and Hope Harbinger. So, yep. That's 2 extenders with Diviner. But let's go ahead and get into the deck because there's a weird amount to explain. So 3 Diviner of the Heralds, it's for the most part just here to send Trias. Trias only needs to tribute 1 theoretically, but it gains effects by every 2 or 3 you tribute. But it can just summon itself with 1, which is why it has so much synergy with Diviner. And then the thing you summon off Diviner is the level 1 Valkyrie, which searches the level 4, which summons the level 4, which searches the level 9. The level 9 is kind of interesting. A lot of the times you don't even use its effect, but sometimes you actually just need your hand advantage because the Hand Trap Heralds, they need 2 cards. They themselves are not a negate. They need you to discard another fairy, and sometimes just searching another fairy, even if you don't use it for anything, is really important. But this one's also just a combo piece when you have those face-up spells. So that's very important. And if you don't know what this does, if it's in your hand, you can send any face-up spell you control to the graveyard. And if you do, you can summon it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And this, whenever it's special summoned, it special summons a Valkyrie from the deck. It also has a mill effect that you will never activate. And then when this is summoned, it just searches a Valkyrie card. Then the Heralds, 3 orange, 1 green. Green's the second best Herald, but it's still not insane. But you need 2 different search targets off Eva when you activate it the second time, so you need to play different ones. And plus, if you send Eva while you already have 2 fairies in hand, it is kind of nice to have an orange light that's online and a green light that's online. That's pretty strong. 2 Eva. When it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish up to 2 light fairies from your grave or field if you want to, which you never will. And then you get to search your deck for that same number of level 2 or lower light fairies, which is really strong. And then we got triple Chaos Valkyria. Not only is it an extender, it can banish any light or dark from your graveyard to special summon. So that even means the Dark Lord stuff, which is nice. But when it itself is banished, you can send any light or dark monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is literally every monster in the deck except this, except you can't activate its effects that turn. However, that doesn't matter in many of the scenarios you use this, because most of the time when you're using this effect, you're sending another Trias, which you only want to use on your opponent's turn, so that doesn't matter. Or even in some combos, you send a Venus, only for Venus to be in the grave for Master Hyperion. So that second effect is actually really strong in here, and I really enjoy that. So 3 Chaos Valkyria and 1 OG. It's kind of weird that I already have 3 normal monsters, but decided to put in a 4th for Unexpected Die. But the reason I did that is just for the sole purpose, if I draw Unexpected Die and Venus, I want the Unexpected Die to have value. Because if you have Venus and Unexpected Die, but you only have Shine Balls in your deck, the Unexpected Die was a blank card, and I didn't like that. And plus, level 4 is a little more relevant than a level 2 fairy, so that's why it's in here. 2 Candina, 1 Mandrake, 1 Lilybell. So I don't play Corbane for the reason that Corbane, you have to only see your Trickstar engine, and that's not good. So you can't Unexpected Die then summon Corbane. You can't summon this and then summon Corbane. You can do it the other way around though. But my point is, Corbane has to be the first thing you do, and not only that, the only times you're summoning Corbane is when you're searching it. So instead I just went for Lilybell, because yeah, it sucks to open and draw, but Corbane isn't really that much better. Corbane also has an awkward level in the deck. It just like wasn't working very well. Even though it's like a fairy extender, which this deck is like full, like every card in this deck is a combo deck. I just was not a fan of Corbane. Maybe if you like replace, no, you don't even want to replace these. I don't know. It's just like Corbane's a pretty tricky slot. It's like if I were to add 3 more cards, they would probably be Corbanes. But they weren't as strong as I thought they would be. Then one Wadapon, you need it for the combo. And then Lilybell I explained. And Mandrake, when it's sent from your hand to the graveyard, it just special summons itself and then banishes itself when used for a link. And what's also interesting is it has an effect when you link into the Link 1 Trickstar with it, but it pretty much never comes up. And then another extender, Madolche Pudding Cesar. It's only a turn 1 extender. Like it has to be one of your very first things. It doesn't have to be your first summon, but you can't have any cards in graveyard to summon it. So it's pretty much a turn 1 thing, and then it never happens again. But it has a good level in here. Yeah, it kind of sucks that it's an Earth attribute, but that doesn't matter because most of the time, like Parshath is usually when you're banishing this, and Parshath doesn't care about the attribute. Another thing that this could be is Guardian Eatos, because it literally has the same summoning condition, except if you draw 2 Eatos, you can summon 2 of them. But I didn't want to do that because Eatos has a pretty bad level for the deck. Well, good and bad level. Like it's a good level for specifically Hope Harbinger. It means you don't have to always go for Hyperion and try to force summon it. But at the same time, Eatos has a bad level for Parshath because you can't banish it with Parshath to summon anything from your hand except Trias, and that's not good. So you could do Guardian Eatos instead, but I prefer this one just because level 4s into Dwellers pretty good. But again, you can do Eatos instead. And then triple Venus, no explanation here. Venus is probably the only 1-card combo in the deck. So yeah, it's pretty obvious. And then the 3 Shine Balls to accompany it. Master Hyperion is what you search with Parshath. Yeah, and this is what you, and then Asmodeus is what you search with Condemned. And this one's kind of funny because you cannot special summon it from the deck or graveyard, but we search it from the deck and then summon it from the hand. So we're effectively doing it anyways. And then it has another effect that it can summon tokens sometimes, but that never comes up because you're just usually executing with it. And then the last spicy tech is Dimensional Alchemist. So the only time this comes up is when you have the combo where you'll get to summon Hyperion, but you also have a Herald in hand. And the reason you want Dimensional Alchemist for those scenarios is because when you equip Dimensional Alchemist from deck with Union Carrier to Appaloosa, you can Master Hyperion, banish the Eva that you will have engraved to target the Alchemist, destroy the Alchemist. Alchemist will trigger because it was destroyed and sent from your side of the field to the graveyard, so it met all its conditions. You can target that Eva you just banished, add it to your hand, so now not only is the Herald live, but after you discard it with that Herald, you'll get to search 2 more Heralds. And that's the scenario you want Alchemist in. Any other scenario, Alchemist isn't always optimal, but it's also just a very hard break too, because this is a normal summon that does absolutely nothing. But it is ultimately a fairy, so even if if you could just summon enough fairies and then this be your normal summon, that's fine too. Then for the spells, 3 Unexpected Die, Light Stage, Terraforming, 1-for-1, and Reborn. Just all gas cards. Every one of those spells gets you to monsters, and then every other card in the deck is a monster. But yeah, that's the main deck. Side deck doesn't matter. Haven't even experimented with siding yet. For the extra deck, these 3 are very important. So in order to trigger Parshath effectively, you want to make a Link 1. So your options are Link Kribo, Link Spider, and Trickstar Bloom. And these are very important. Even like the Trickstar Bloom comes up a lot. So you gotta have links for all three of those scenarios. And then we got one Condemned Dark Lord, part of the combo. Union Carrier, Celestial Night Lord Parshath, all really important to the combo. And then it ends on Appaloosa. And then got IP Masquerena, the normal combo with Diviner is Diviner plus Extender. And usually you end with what the Venus combo does by itself, except you also end with IP, which is really nice. And then IP turning into Unicorn on your opponent's turn, where you then can discard an Eva to go search 2 more negates after spinning a card on their field, is very strong. Then 38 Calamities, Dweller. Some combos go into rank 4s, but this is like the only one I wanted to play. It's either this or Fairy Cheer Girl, but Fairy Cheer Girl draws you a card in a deck full of bricks, so I didn't want to bother anymore. Then for the going second extra deck cards, Phoenix, Unicorn, Access Code, and Boral Sword. I actually have missed a Boral Sword a lot, which is why I threw it in here. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This deck is very fun. I actually really enjoy this. It's just a mashup of a bunch of fairy monsters. But it works very well, and that's really fun. But that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And remember, Master Dinnerflex will take your soul.